Welcome back. We're back for round 2 of Q&A. The other day I didn't get a chance to get to all the questions, so I'm going to try to answer the rest of the questions today. So stay tuned. So if you were lucky to get your question answered last time, awesome. I did miss a couple, so I do want to get back to them today and answer those questions right away. For anyone else that wants to ask some questions, follow me on Instagram at Chef Jesse Q, Facebook at Chef Jesse Q, Roof over at Facebook Ask. Looking for air fryer recipes and meals on the go. So there's 2 questions there. First is air fryer recipes. Air fryers started taking off I would say about 3 years ago. They're amazing. They work wonders, but basically it's a convection oven, so heat, air that makes something crispy. So you can take anything that you would normally do fried and try to convert it into an air fryer. For my own personal experience, it works good on certain things and not on others. Things it works good on are French fries, sweet potato fries, chicken wings, basically anything that isn't super breaded. From my personal experience, I try to make coconut shrimp in an air fryer and it did not turn out the same way it does in a fryer. It wasn't crispy, it was kind of soggy, so I wouldn't do anything breaded in an air fryer. So what I would do is things that I want a little bit more crunch to it. So like I said, French fries or anything like that, and that would be my air fryer recipes. For sure, a little bit of chicken wings, easy stuff. I wouldn't complicate it too much because basically your oven can almost do almost the same exact thing as an air fryer, and that's the truth. For anyone out there that has a convection oven at home, you know this is true. So hopefully that answers that question. For the second part of the question, meals on the go. This is a tough one. Meals on the go is hard because if you're on the go, there's 2 things you got to think of. Do you have a microwave or something to reheat the food? If you don't, that is the first dilemma. If you do, then it makes it easier. But if you don't, let's get into that topic right off the bat. So if we don't have something to reheat, what can we make? You gotta make things that are gonna hold. So basically things that are not covered in dressings or sauces or anything like that. So you can still do wraps. For instance, like a shrimp wrap, but it can't have any kind of like avocado spread, any kind of mayo, any kind of dressings in it because it's gonna get soggy and that's just gonna ruin it. Another thing you can make for meals on the go now are those mason jar salads or mason jar mixers. That's great because you can have the dressing on the side, you can add it in there and go from there. So, and it doesn't even have to be a salad. I mean, you can do like a couscous with a little bit of grilled chicken and some veggies chopped in there, and then just a little lime juice at the end. Something simple. That's a good one for meals on the go. Now for the second part, if you have an area where you can cook when you're on the go, or a microwave, or I don't know, some people even carry their own little convection cookers with them. If you have that, then you can do basically anything. Now in that case, you would be doing more of a meal prep. You would have your little container with your vegetable, your starch, and your protein. And then you can do whatever you want there. So that's the way I would work on that meal. Chrissy on Instagram asks, any meal prep ideas for teens? Now this is another topic that's starting to come up a lot here, especially in the United States. As we all know, overweight doesn't start when you're older, it usually starts when you're younger. So you gotta start off on a healthy base very young. When I grew up, my mom always cooked most of our meals for me and my sister fresh. So I was always raised around fresh cooking. My dad's a chef also, but he didn't cook at home. We're Mexican, so anyone Mexican knows how that goes. My mom cooked, my dad worked. So I grew up always eating fresh. So for me, it wasn't a big issue. But nowadays, it is a big issue. You see it more and more. So what I would do for teen meals is things that they're familiar with. So most teenagers like fast food, sadly. But you can make fast food healthy. Like one of the fast food options that are out there right now that I would do is Chick-fil-A. Like a grilled chicken sandwich with a whole wheat bun, no sauce, amazing. That's great. Now, how do you turn that into a meal prep? What I would do is make the options very easy, because most parents nowadays are working, so they don't have the time to make every meal for their kid. But what we can do is pre-cook certain things. I'll give you an option that's very easy. Mariano sells chicken burgers. You go there, you grill some chicken burgers, you store them in your fridge. Your kid comes out, pops in the microwave for 2 minutes, adds a little bit of rice, maybe some avocado on the side, and that's an easy meal. And it's something that they're accustomed to. They still get that chicken burger, but now they don't have all the cheese all over it. They don't have the big buns and anything like that. And they still get the protein in. So that would be an easy one. Another meal that I would do is grilled chicken nuggets. So instead of doing breaded chicken nuggets, I would just grab a little chicken thighs, preferably, because they hold their moisture a little bit better. Cut it into small pieces like a chicken nugget, roast them off, and then store them in your fridge. That they can serve on the side. Just dip them in whatever they want, an easy low sugar, low sodium barbecue sauce or something like that, and that'd be another option. But the most important thing is to teach them how to eat. And that's the hard one, I think, more than anything. More people are so stuck on diets and fads and trying to figure out things that they don't even take the time to realize that it's all around us. We just gotta make easier, healthier options. By that I mean, if you're out and about, pick wisely. If you're at Chipotle and they ask you, do you want sour cream and cheese? Say no. Or if you have fat in your macros, you can say just a little bit. Just make wise choices. So that'd be how I would address that. Brian Hall over on Instagram asks, how do you make Chilean sea bass without So, Chilean sea bass. Chilean sea bass was a big thing when I was coming up in culinary school. So I would say that was about, the year 2000, late 90s, in that era. It was everywhere. It was the lobster of fish. It was amazing because of the presentation. If you haven't seen Chilean sea bass, it's like solid white. It's not off-white, it's white. And you would sear it off and pair it with something nice and classical French, buttery sauces and all that. But what happened was it was over-farmed, overfished, and it became one of those endangered species. So now you don't see it that much. And if you do, it is a very expensive fish. I think right now Chilean sea bass fresh goes anywhere for about $20 to $30 a pound. So that's one of those fishes that it's hard to get. So when you do get a piece and to cook it at home, my suggestion is keep it as simple as possible. I would use a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of kosher salt, and that's it. I would leave it outside, marinate it with the olive oil and the kosher salt, wait a little bit, get a hot skillet, preferably cast iron, nice and hot, put a little oil in it, and then give a good sear. Just sear it off on both sides and let it stand. The thing with that fish is you don't want to crust it. You want the fish to speak for itself because it's so delicate and so beautiful. We wouldn't hide beauty. You want to show beauty off. I would pair that with something, a nice little grain. You can do anything from a black rice to a risotto or to any kind of grain. And then with some nice vegetables for color, like grilled asparagus or sauteed spinach. And then where the key is the sauce. The sauce can't overpower the fish. The fish has the most mildest buttery taste. So what you need to do is come up with something that's very light. An easy one would be like a pesto sauce around the plate, just drizzled. Just enough just to get it on the fish just a little bit. And that's how you make Chilean sea bass without Alejandro on Instagram. He has an issue where he works a lot, so he's looking for healthy lunch options where he doesn't have to necessarily always go to a fast food place and ruin his diet. That is an issue most people have, as we all know. So again, that goes back to what I answered earlier, meal prep. Now, if Alejandro is lucky and has the microwave and all that near him, easy peasy. If he doesn't, then he has to go back to what we said, which was make wraps, salads, things that you can add the dressings at the last time. Proteins that hold very well would be chicken, turkey, and grilled shrimp. Those are my 3 proteins that I would do for that kind of stuff that I can eat cold and still be really good. So I would work on that and see where that goes. So I hope that answered your question, Alejandro. It's not easy to stay on a diet, especially with everything around us. And it's not easy when you're busy and it's not easy when you're working. But you gotta think about long term. This isn't a sprint, this is a marathon. You gotta last the longest. My goal has always been to look good and stay healthy way late in life. Not just right now when we're young and everyone can do it, but can you maintain it? That's the trick. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you to everyone who reached out and asked me all these beautiful questions. I appreciate it so much. For anyone else that wants to get their questions answered, just hit me up, DM me on Instagram at Chef Jesse Q, Facebook at Chef Jesse Q, and let me know what you want to learn or if topics you want to talk about. Until next time, don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell, get the reminders. Love you guys. Bye.